Hello, this is a yoga for the pelvic floor class. This is targeted at pelvic floor and your pelvic health. Grab a towel, you'll need it for the practice today, so pause the video if you need to grab it. My name's Krista Norwick. I am a pelvic physiotherapist, and I'm training in yoga physiotherapy. Your pelvic floor muscles are inside your sit bones at the bottom of your pelvis. So if you rock side to side, you should feel your two sit bones. And you can even reach back with your hand and feel them. They're the two bony surfaces that you'll be sitting on. If you can sit cross-legged, do that. What you're going to do is you're going to breathe and move your pelvic floor at the same time. So what I'm demonstrating with my hands here is that as you inhale, your pelvic floor moves down. As you exhale, it moves up. As you inhale, moves down. Exhale, moves up. So get comfortable. You can sit cross-legged, or if that doesn't work for you, you can kneel. Place your palms face down on your thighs and close your eyes. I'll explain to you how the pelvic floor moves with breath many times throughout the practice, so don't worry. Notice how you're breathing. Are you breathing more shallow or deep? Start to bring your awareness to that squishy tissue between your sit bones. Your pelvic floor muscles are in between your sit bones, attaching all the way up to your pubic bone, all the way back to your tailbone. Your genitalia are in that area as well. To allow you to feel this better, what you're going to do is grab your towel now. It doesn't really matter what type of towel, just fold it a few times. You want it to end up being the size of the space in between your sit bones. So I'm just folding it and then I'm sort of rolling it here. You can see it's about the width of my fist. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit with that towel in between your sit bones like I'm showing here. So place it in between your sit bones so your genitalia, that squishy tissue, should be touching the towel. Close your eyes again. Now you're going to intentionally start to deepen your breath. As you do that, you want to inhale and lengthen the pelvic floor towards the towel. So it should feel like a downward motion, and it should feel like your pelvic floor muscles are squishing against the towel more. As you breathe out, your pelvic floor muscles will tighten and lift, and that'll feel like they're moving away from the towel, or there's less pressure on the towel. As you inhale, moving down. As you exhale, lifting. Good. You can get rid of the towel now. We're going to transition onto our knees. Reach back and move your glute tissue out of the way so that you can feel your sit bones touching your heels. As you inhale, rock forwards. As you exhale, come back. So as you inhale, you're leaning forwards. As you exhale, you're coming back to the start. Inhale, lean forwards. Exhale, back to the start. So as you inhale and lean forward, see if you can expand your pelvic floor down. It might feel like you're opening your anus. It might feel like you're lengthening your muscles and relaxing them. As you exhale, they will naturally tighten, but don't try to tighten them. Inhale, open. Think about widening your sit bones. Exhale. Inhale, open your anus, lengthen your pelvic floor. Exhale to the starting. Inhale, really try to move your muscles down. That downward movement of the pelvic floor is technically a relaxation, and it is a big focus of yoga for the pelvic floor because so many of us are not good at relaxing our pelvic floor muscles. And although it might feel like we have pelvic floor muscle weakness, we actually might have tightness. All right, you're going to transition to reaching your arms up as you inhale, and then through center as you exhale. Inhale, reach your arms high, and then exhale, fold forwards into a modified child's pose. So only going as far as you can here. Resting your forearms and your forehead down. And as you inhale, see if you can let your belly expand towards your thighs and your pelvic floor lengthen. See if you can relax your jaw and then slowly come back up. We're going to transition to hands and knees now. So your hands should be under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Deep breathing here. See if you can feel your pelvic floor lengthen as you inhale. And then tuck your toes. Rock back as you inhale, and then back to the start as you exhale. Rocking backwards towards your heels as you inhale, returning to the start as you exhale. As you inhale, lengthen through your pelvic floor. As you exhale, return to the start. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, return to the start. So as you inhale, widen your sit bones, open your anus. Exhale, return to the start. Inhale, lengthen, open, widen. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen your pelvic floor. Exhale. Good. As you're exhaling here, not trying to do a contraction, your muscles will tighten. You don't need to try to tighten them. So I'm pointing to the pubic bone and the sit bones and the anus here. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to hook your fingers on the inside of your sit bone. So they'll go in between your sit bone and your anus. And what this does is it allows you to feel your pelvic floor movement even better. So I'm reaching back with my left hand, hooking your fingertips inside your sit bone. As you inhale and rock back, your pelvic floor lengthens into your fingertips. So what you want to feel is that your pelvic floor pushes into your fingertips as you inhale. As you exhale, it should recoil a little bit. Inhale, expand. Exhale, the muscles will move towards your head. Inhale, pressing into your fingers. Exhale, returning. Inhale, lengthening into your fingers. Exhale. Good. If I'm ever moving too fast for you, you can slow it down. Moving at the pace of your breath and what feels natural to you. Switching hands, hooking with your right hand now. As you inhale, feel your pelvic floor lengthening into your right hand. Exhale, returning to the start. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, returning. Good. Seeing if you can move your pelvic floor away from your head more and more with each inhale. Remembering you can think about opening your anus, expanding your pelvic floor muscles on that inhale. Great. Bringing your hands back underneath you. Straightening your left leg out to the side. Hands are going to be underneath your shoulders. And you'll do that same rocking motion, but this time with your leg out. So we're actually trying to elicit a stretch on your left leg. So as you inhale, rocking back. As you exhale, returning to the start. As you inhale, rocking back. Exhale, returning to the start. Excellent. So as you inhale, you should feel a little bit more of a stretch on your inner thigh. See if you can target your pelvic floor relaxation at the front of your pelvic floor this time. So think about your pubic bone. See if you can expand the pelvic floor that attaches to your pubic bone, because your adductor, your inner thigh, also attaches in that region. And this area is so important for both bladder and sexual function. Switch sides, right leg out this time. As you inhale, rocking back, exhale, back to the start. Good. Focusing on the front of your pelvic floor with this one. Inhale to really expand and lengthen at your pubic bone. Exhale, returning to the start. Only stretching as far as feels like a mild or moderate stretch. It should not feel intense. So if you can't go as far as me, that is completely fine. Only go as far as you feel comfortable going in your body. Great. Transition again to kneeling. You can roll your head a couple times if your neck is feeling sore at all. Finding your movement with your breath here, expanding your pelvic floor as you inhale, just giving everything a break. Great, and then we're going to transition to long sitting. So you're going to swing your feet in front of you, move your glute tissue out of the way of your sit bones, or sit on a block if you can't sit with a straight spine and straight legs. That could be because your hamstrings aren't flexible enough, and that's okay. Use a block or a pillow. Great, so long legs, long spine, and as you inhale, hinge forward, keeping your spine straight. Exhaling, returning to the start. Good. Inhale, folding, spine straight. Exhale, returning. We're stretching the hamstrings now. So this is for the back of the pelvic floor. So your hamstrings attached to your sit bones. So really focus your breath towards your sit bones, thinking about lengthening and expanding your pelvic floor right at your sit bones as you hinge forwards. As you return to the start, letting your pelvic floor tighten naturally, but not trying to emphasize it. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold, this time allowing your spine to round. Or if you can't reach your feet with your hands when you're folding forwards, grab your towel and hook it around your feet so you can still get that stretch, but you're not going as deep. And that'll depend on how tight your hamstrings are. Good. Folding, holding here, big breaths. Every inhale, you're trying to widen your sit bones, lengthen your pelvic floor at the back of the muscles. Maybe as you exhale, sinking a little deeper into the stretch, but again, not going into a really, really hard stretch, just a mild or moderate stretch. Good. Slowly come out of it. And we're going to transition to lying on your back. Knees bent. Lift your right foot up off the ground and cross your right ankle just above your left knee. Reach behind your left thigh with your hands and interlace them behind your left thigh. This is a glute stretch, so you may need to angle to the left or to the right to find the spot that feels tighter for you. Once you do, stay here. As you breathe, you're again focusing on your pelvic floor lengthening with every inhale. And see if you can really focus your effort on your tailbone this time. We're stretching the glutes that are really close to the tailbone. So see if you can imagine that you're opening your anus and uncurling your tailbone as you inhale. Good. Switch sides, so cross your left ankle above your right knee and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Angle side to side to find where it feels like it's the best stretch for you. And then settle into that, breathing into the pelvis, expanding your pelvic floor on the inhale, seeing if you can open your anus and untuck your tailbone. I'm doing this class on the roof of my van in Spain, and I loved this view that you could get to look at with the mountains, but there was also a group having a party close by, so I couldn't talk at the same time. That's why I'm doing voiceover. Good. You can come out of that stretch and transition yourself to sitting. Great. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great practice. Have a great rest of your day.